Let's build your lead generation funnel and book some more strategy and discovery calls. Timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources we'll be referencing throughout this guide. Now, here's a quick little preview of the funnel and campaign we'll be putting together. And of course, this is one of many ways to generate leads online. We're going to focus on bootstrapping this entire process and of course, coming up with something that will work on autopilot so you don't have to continually jump into LinkedIn Sales Navigator, engage in a Facebook, LinkedIn, or LinkedIn group, or of course, continually try to optimize cold ads or cold emails. So this is designed to be a little more automated than some of those other solutions, but it will take a little bit more time up front to set up. So we'll go ahead and kick things off by creating 3 or 5 pillar posts or native ads for YouTube. Now, don't worry, pump the brakes. You're not going to jump on that content hamster wheel. You're not going to have to start trying to grow a channel. We've had several clients who built 6-figure businesses with less than 10 videos on their channel. So you're not going to be signing up to creating a bunch of YouTube videos for the next 6 to 9 months. Then we're going to use a simple YouTube ad strategy. So we don't wait around for the fickle YouTube algorithm to start promoting our videos. We're going to jump to the front of the line for just a couple cents per view. And then inside of our videos, we're going to drive traffic to a landing page where we promote a lead magnet. And we'll go through the specific types of videos and types of lead magnets that work best for this. And we have some landing pages converting at over 50%, like this one. This is an incredibly well-working strategy right now here on YouTube. And of course, once you have those emails, you've started to build some goodwill. We're going to send 3 to 5 emails to drive traffic to your booking page to actually get people on the phone with you. And of course, have a pre-call survey if you'd like. And we'll wrap up with an easy way to supercharge this whole process, depending upon your budget, using banner remarketing ads. So I'll link up in the description to our sales funnel playbook that actually includes templates to all of our funnels that you can copy for yourself to make building out all of the pages you need and email automations a complete breeze. But first, let's go ahead and kick things off with what type of content should you actually be creating with these native ads for YouTube. So take a look at this diagram and imagine your product or service is in the middle and all of the different lines are different prospects that might be a good fit for your offer. Well, if we zoomed into one of these lines, this is going to be a typical customer journey. First, someone is just looking up general information about your topic, and then they start taking a deeper dive, and then of course, they start actively looking for a solution. So in this particular instance, you could create a decision guide or how-to guide for the first part of their journey where they're just starting to figure things out, or you could jump towards the very end and create a review helping them understand what they should purchase or which path they should take, whether they should go the software route or maybe they should hire someone or just try to build or go about it all on their own. And when it comes to lead generation specifically for booking strategy and sales calls, you're going to want to use a complete tutorial. Now, these do take quite a while to set up, but the good news is they are incredibly profitable. And I'll go through an example of exactly how to set this up in a moment. So think about your particular niche or industry. And what we want to do is head over to YouTube and search as if we were our ideal client searching for information on how to accomplish something in our topic. So let's say we're a content marketing and SEO strategy company, right? So we'd go over to YouTube, private browsing mode. If you are in a different country than where you're targeting, you're going to need to turn on a VPN. So I have one on right now because I'm not in the States. And then I'm just going to type in content marketing here. And then the results you're seeing right now we'll call level 1 keywords. So most YouTube content creators, this is the list of keywords that they're looking at. And so if you go to the search results of any one of these keywords, chances are they're going to be from larger channels and they're going to be a lot of views. So what we want to do is we want to be very specific because we're not after growing a channel, we're after being genuinely helpful to our ideal customers, and we're going to use YouTube ads to shortcut the whole algorithm process anyway. So we just want to make something that's valuable to our ideal customers. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose one. So you'd want to look for something like strategy or tutorial or case study or example or for beginners. So in this particular instance, I'm going to type in strategy because that was the first keyword here, and then I'm going to hit space. So now these keywords, we'll call these level 2, these are where you're going to want to start looking for video ideas. And so all you need to do is, let's say we're going to go to content marketing strategy for e-commerce, right? So we'll come in here, that's very specific. And so what we would do is we'd look at these top videos, just the top 5. You don't need to watch all of them. So look at the top 5 videos, watch each one, and then go through their comments, right? So go through their comments and all you need to do is answer the question, is this where my ideal customer is looking for information? So if the answer is yes, that you look in the video content and the comments and you're looking at it and you say, okay, these sound like questions and this sounds like information that would be helpful and valuable to my ideal customer, then this is a keyword that you could potentially go after. So you want to go through this. So what I would do here is I would delete strategy, right? I'd come back here, I'd go through all of these and I would make a list, right? So I'd make a list, you'd probably have 10 to 20 keywords and then pick the top 5. So you'd pick the top 5. In my particular instance, I'm going to shortcut this process and just jump into funnel here. And you'll see I have only one video is still ranking. I think we had a couple. Yeah, we have a couple here, but apparently we're not ranking as well as we used to. But you'll see here, 4 years ago, and wow, is that an old video, right? So 4 years ago, only 4,000 views. And if we come down here, this one was 6 months ago, only 1,000. And I think that's it. I think our older ones have been completely deranked. But the reason that I'm choosing this one in particular is we've gotten some really good clients out of this video. It's only 4,000 views, right? And so it really is not about how many views these videos are getting. It's about, are these videos representative of our ideal client? Are these videos going to be genuinely helpful to our potential ideal customers and potential ideal clients? And so once you have these keywords, of course, you're going to want to make an outline and of course, create a video that just genuinely helps them answer a particular question or solve a problem. So I'll link up in the cards and the description to a full-blown guide on how to actually go through outlining your video and of course, filling it out, how to make it a little bit more engaging. And even if you don't want to show your face, that's totally okay. You can make it entirely screen capture or just use slides. And before we move on to your lead magnet and actually building out the rest of your lead generation process and funnel, here is a quick example of what a call to action could look like inside of your video. So this is an example of a Google Ads campaign video that we did. And as you can see in this timeline, we have several calls to action to not only our lead magnet, but also a paid offer. Link to that in the description if you want to learn more. Again, link in the description to our Google Ads campaign builder. Link in the description if you'd like to learn more about our tool. And as you can see, each one of those is very short and then the tutorial just moves on. Now, of course, we need to come up with an actual lead magnet idea, right? We need something that is actually going to be genuinely helpful and can demonstrate our value to our ideal customers. And so what you're going to want to do is come up with a lead magnet idea that you can showcase as a part of your video. But it's very important that you create your video, make sure it's genuinely valuable, and then look to how to layer on a lead magnet on top of it. Otherwise, it's too easy for your video to just come across as a giant ad for your lead magnet, and you've probably seen those before, right? So here are some examples of what we could do for your lead magnet. Number one, we could create an audit, and this would be just a simple self-assessment to help someone understand where they are in their situation, and of course, take an honest step back to see what's working and maybe what's not working, and how, if they don't solve it now, it could potentially be a whole lot worse. So as an example, we used to have a Google Analytics audit, and someone could go through their analytics account, see the settings that were working, the ones that weren't, and then of course we talked about how much data they might be missing out on, or the dangers of not getting their code properly installed, potentially ruining all the data that they collect in the future. Now the second one is my personal favorite, and that's going to be a template. So here, this is just a fill in the blank worksheet, and you can actually include this inside your video. So as you're showing someone through the process, you can reference the free template that you link up in the description. That's something that's working really, really well for us. And as an example, we have the Tag Manager Playbook. So this is what the Tag Manager Playbook actually looks like. So what you're scrolling through right now is just a simple PDF where we help people store all their tracking codes and of course, organize and plan out all of the tags and triggers they might need for setting up their conversion sequences and conversion tracking. And so it doesn't have to be overly fancy, it just has to be genuinely helpful and provide someone with structure. Finally, we have a planner. So as an example, we offer a free content calendar for people. This planner could also help with pretty much any project that someone's working on, whether you're just listing out all the steps for them or you're helping them create a calendar so they can stay on track with their goals. So with each one of these, the importance of creating these is number one, we can display it inside of our YouTube video. And number two, it's genuinely helpful because someone has to interact with it. That's really key. You don't just want to have a resource guide, another video, or some sort of checklist, right? It needs to be interactive so someone actually uses it, and it's going to increase the perceived value of what you are offering in your lead magnet, and it's going to build more goodwill for when someone finally does start looking at your emails and considering booking a call with you. Now, one final note on creating your lead magnet and some lead magnet ideas, link in the cards in the description to a full-blown video on lots more ideas, 9 more, and lots more examples. Make sure you have a call to action at the end of your lead magnet to book a strategy call with you. Now, of course, you can't just send people the lead magnet, right? We need a way to collect their emails before we grab that lead magnet, and that's where your landing page comes in. And your landing page is going to be a simple page that looks like this with no external links, that just has a headline, a couple bullet points, a picture of your lead magnet, and of course, a place to collect their email. Now, yes, eventually you need their phone number to book a strategy call with them, but you don't need that right now. So don't ask for their phone number. You don't even need their name. The less information you ask for here, the more leads you're going to generate, the higher your conversion rates will be. You can always filter out the unqualified prospects later, and we'll get to that when we talk about your booking sequence and setup and process. And so here with your landing page, you'll have a headline that clearly communicates the benefits of your offer, 3 bullet points that reinforce the headline, more like for type A personalities who want a little bit more information. You can create a free lead magnet graphic inside of Canva, like the one you're seeing on this example page. And then since you probably don't have testimonials yet, you can go ahead and quote yourself and talk about how helpful you think this lead magnet is going to be for people. And then when it comes to the actual formulas for writing out your landing page, here are some example copywriting formulas you could use straight out of one of our templates, our sales funnel organizer, linked up in the description if you'd like to learn more. And then I'll also link up in the cards and the description to a super deep dive copywriting guide that goes through all of these formulas and more for making sure that your landing page really converts. And simple landing pages just like this one for our Tag Manager playbook convert at over 50%. This is the current conversion rate on this page. It really does not have to be graphically intense. Simple, clear, concise copy always beats graphics. And so that's all there is to creating your landing page. Now let's go ahead and quickly talk about your rapport sequence. So you've got all your emails. Hopefully we're running some traffic with YouTube ads. Again, link in the cards in the description to a video that walks you through exactly how to turn your videos into simple little YouTube ads for a couple cents per view and just a couple dollars a day. And so while all these people are coming in, of course, we're going to send them some emails to talk about why it would be valuable for them to hop on a call with us. And unlike some other lead generation strategies, you've built a tremendous amount of goodwill. They've gone through and seen your native ad that is arguably just as good as a content video. They've gone through your lead magnet that was genuinely helpful and valuable. So you've already demonstrated that you know what you're talking about, and you've demonstrated that you can be genuinely helpful. And so this simple 5 email sequence that you're looking at right here is simply designed to drive traffic to your booking page. So you'll empathize with their current experiences, you'll expand on the dangers of not taking any more action, and then of course you'll energize them to take action with calls to action to check out your page, your booking page. And so link in the cards in the description to a super deep dive video on how to set up all of these automations as well as how to actually write some of these emails. So you'll get some copywriting formulas you can copy for yourself because I'm a huge fan of using stories. But this video is long enough, so let's move on to the second last step of the process, and that's going to be your booking sequence or your booking page. Now, I highly recommend use a service like Calendly or Setmore. They both have free plans, and these will allow you to automatically book appointments. I'll tell you from personal experience, the back and forth emails, they're no fun, especially when you have back and forth emails and there's time zones and delays, and then you wind up having two people say yes to the same time slot, and then you have to say no to one of them, right? So go ahead, use an automated scheduling like Calendly or Setmore. If you have G Suite for Business or Google Workspace now or whatever the heck they're calling it, you can actually set up appointment slots if you're on a really tight budget. But I recommend checking out one of those other two solutions. And it's just a simple page where they choose their date and time, they give you their phone number and email address again. And so we're collecting the information we need now. And then of course they go ahead and book the call with you. You can also make sure that someone doesn't book a call at 11 a.m. and you're supposed to jump on at 3 p.m., right? These systems allow you to create a buffer so you don't wake up in the morning and suddenly find out you have 12 strategy calls that day. So you do have a lot of flexibility with the scheduling and making sure you have plenty of room to breathe and prepare. And speaking of prepare, a common question I get at this point is, yeah, but I don't want to get on the phone with people that can't afford my service or aren't qualified. And most of the time when coaching students or clients ask me this question, I am a little harsh and I say, okay, well, how many strategy calls did you actually have last week? And normally it's less than 10, right? So while I don't recommend doing this up front, we will go through the pre-strategy call process. But honestly, you should get calls with everybody, because even if they're not a good fit for your product or service, you need that human interaction to learn who is coming through your funnel. You need that one-on-one time to genuinely understand your marketplace and who you're actually selling to, and sometimes more importantly, who you don't want to sell to. Because we've had times where we had weeks where we had strategy calls and nobody booked, and then we realized, you know what? We're just attracting the wrong people, right? It's not like our funnels aren't working. Our funnels are working. We're just attracting the wrong people. And by switching from one service to a product, all of a sudden the funnel became profitable, right? We were just a bad product market fit. And so that's why I think it's really important to get on the phone with everybody, at least the first couple months. But hey, you know what? It's your time. So here's what you can do. Instead, you can send them over to a pre-call survey, something like this, where you simply ask a very minimal amount of questions. Less is more, because we don't want to ask so many questions that people think this call is going to be life-changing, right? And so you essentially just ask about their experiences, you ask about their goals, you have some sort of monetary budget questions so you know if they can actually afford what you offer. And then of course you have an open-ended question so that they can put forth the questions they have for you. And of course, please actually read this before your strategy calls. It's crazy how many people don't just take 10 minutes to read it before they jump on the phone with people. And I've been on the opposite end, where halfway through the conversation I realize the sales manager, the salesperson at the company has not read anything that I sent, right? And so you do want to make sure that you actually read it and you reference it while you're talking on that sales call. You're going to be above and beyond a lot of other people who don't take that extra 10 minutes before the call starts. So that does it for your lead generation funnel. And so at the very end of all this, you're cooking with gas, your process is complete. You're generating leads on autopilot. And if you want to supercharge this process, then step number 7 would be starting to create some display remarketing ads. Now, obviously, this is a video in and of itself that is way longer than this one. So I will link up in the cards in the description to a video from Surfside PPC that goes through everything you need to know with display remarketing ads. Yes, the video is a little old. It's almost 2 years old by now, but it's still one of the best videos that goes through how to create your custom audiences, how to create behavior audiences based upon how someone's interacted with your funnel, so that you can actually start remarketing to people who maybe watched your video but didn't join your email list, or joined your email list and didn't, book a call with you. So there's a lot of fancy things you can start to do, and you only need a couple $100s a month in order to start using Google display remarketing. And so that does it for the lead generation process. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. Most importantly, you have a much better picture and understanding of what you can do and how you can really bootstrap this. I mean, YouTube ads is $5 to $10 a day at most, right? You can get away with $2 or $3 a day, and this entire process can work on autopilot for you. So hit that like button, subscribe for more marketing guides just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.